5 minutes after 10 o'clock. If we ever get to do a show, like a TV show or something, Robin, where the guests are actually in the studio, we will start to feel like we're friends with them because we see them, every now and then, right?
Right.
That sort of has happened over the phone with Delia Ephron. We've had her on a few times and always enjoy speaking to her. And now we were looking at a book when it first arrived. Maybe it came about a week ago. It's called Do I Have to Say Hello? And I thought, well, this is such a different kind of a book for Delia. And then I read the information that came with it. Turns out the book is like 25 years old or something like that and has been reissued. It's perfect timing. This is a great book for, I guess, the pre-Thanksgiving days. I'll let her tell you about it, but let me tell you about her. If you don't know who Delia Ephron is, she's a best-selling author. You've heard her on our show before. I hope you remember. She's the screenwriter of some titles you're probably familiar with, like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, Michael, Hanging Up, and of course she writes for the New York Times and Vogue and Vanity Fair. Delia Ephron. Good morning, Delia.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming back. One of these days, we're going to have a TV show.
I can't wait.
We're going to do the thing with the desk that everybody does, and we're gonna have the desk. Except Rob and I have two desks.
Oh, well, that's nice.
One on each side. We'll be bombarding you with questions.
Right. Yeah, we won't be taller than the guests. We'll all be equal.
Your book is so. Relatable. When I looked at this book, Do I Have to Say Hello? I thought, gosh, you know what I'm hearing in my mind? I'm hearing myself as a kid and myself as an adult. Because I've lived both things.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. I did. This came out in the 25 years ago, and it was one of my favorite books, and it has been out of print. But it has these amazing Amazon reviews, and it cost quite a lot to get one of the originals, and I just always wanted to redo it. I was down in Nashville one day at a party where I knew no one, and I went up to somebody just to introduce myself, and the woman said, "Aunt Delia?" And I suddenly thought, oh my gosh, she read, she grew up on that book.
Oh, wow.
So I decided to redo the book, and of course manners have changed. They have,
certainly.
Yeah,
some is the same. Table manners, of course, and you still do have to say hello. You can't mumble hi and pick your nose.
Yeah.
But,
right.
But I started doing this book originally because I went to pick up my nephew at the airport, and he said, this is all he said to me, "Take me to the baseball card store, Aunt Delia."
Okay.
So on the way home in the car, I invented a manners quiz, and I said, okay, your aunt comes to meet you at the airport. Do you say, "Take me to the baseball card store"? Do you burp? Or do you say, "Hi, Aunt Delia," and give her a kiss? And he was hysterical by the time I got home.
That is funny. and that's what you do in the book. You give these multiple choice questions, and there's at least one answer or one choice that is just very funny. That's it. Oh, you get the phone?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to turn it off, and I can't figure it out.
You got an old bell.
The phone rings in the middle of a radio.
Is that a ringtone? Is that a ringtone? Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can wait for you.
What are the choices? What are the choices?
Just turn it off.
Well, we can wait for you.
You know what you should do?
No, it's done. That's so funny.
You should hit the answer button and burp into it. That's what it is. 25 years ago, were there illustrations in the first book?
Yes, they were done by Ed Koren, who I considered my guardian angel, because the first book I ever published, which was called How to Eat Like a Child, I'd written the first chapter, and he took it to the New York Times and gave it to them, and they published it, and he illustrated it, and then I sold it the next day as a book, and suddenly I was a writer.
Oh, that was your beginning as a writer?
Yeah, that was my beginning, and so we did 3 books together, and this is the third, and I called him up and I said, "Ed, we're going to redo this. We're going to revamp it. We're going to change mucus to snot."
And good for you.
Right, we're going to put some soccer manners in, and video game manners, and
definitely video game manners. Yeah.
You are pretty brave to write about awkward situations, because you really are giving parents a cool edge on this now, because now the parents won't seem so mean if they try to reprimand their children and put them on the right path of to be very polite.
I think if you can do everything with laughter, you're better off. Really, that's the best way. And this way, I mean, my nephew never picked the right answer, but he always knew what it was.
I bet he remembers that to this day.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And I remember doing it with him. I mean, he was laughing so hard, and we'll never forget it. It was such a great memory, too. He has beautiful manners, I want to say. He's like the sweetest human on the planet.
This is the best. This is the best manners book.
I feel completely responsible, and I feel my sister had nothing to do with it.
Have you had the experience of being in the room when a child was reading it to another child?
I have, and I literally have seen children fall off their chairs. I mean, it works in a perfectly adorable way that fills my heart with joy, I have to say.
I wonder if we should let the listeners hear a sample, because I'm wondering if I was listening, would I completely get what we're talking about yet?
Right. Why don't you read something?
You want me to read one? Okay. I was going to ask you to do that. All right. So the book is called Do I Have to Say Hello? Aunt Delia's Manners Quiz. And so that's very wonderfully illustrated, as Delia mentioned, by Edward Corrin. Let me read something that's short. Okay, so everyone is sitting around watching you open presents except Max, who is busy learning a magic trick from your Uncle Jerry. Do you start unwrapping presents even though he's not paying attention? Do you shout, Max, watch me? Or do you start crying and tell Uncle Jerry he's ruining your party by taking all your friends away?
Oh, well, the birthday party, right?
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for the birthday girl to be a terrorist.
I should have mentioned what segment that is.
Polly arrives, hi, Polly, it's nice to see you, or, who invited you, there must be some mistake, or, why isn't everyone looking at me?
Oh, we had an example the other day of somebody who didn't read your book. One question is, when the magic show is over, what do you do? Applaud, boo, or throw things? So, Delia, Robin and I play music, and we went to a nursing home, well, an assisted living facility on Sunday, and there was a guy sleeping the whole time. We were playing music, and we do an hour show, and about 2 minutes before we're done, he wakes up and he says, 2 more songs and you can go home.
And they all jumped on him. They said,
I said, I think you're our first octogenarian heckler.
That's right.
Right. You have to send him this book.
Yeah, right.
Definitely, yeah.
You're never too old.
Do you mention about caps in there, wearing caps at the table? Because I've noticed that now more people are doing that than they did years ago while they're in a restaurant eating.
They're doing what?
Wearing the men are wearing their caps and they're not taking them off.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. You mean like baseball caps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that is sad. No, I don't.
I know.
I didn't get into that exactly, but I did get into you can't download 6 apps off Aunt Delia's phone while you're eating.
Oh, I love
you know
that.
What I mean.
You're a modern aunt. You're a modern aunt.
Yeah. Well, we had to get into it,
I know you've got a lot of visits, and so we appreciate you taking time out of your morning this morning, Delia. Where are you right now? Are you in New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you really have a true gift to reflect life, as it really is. So fortunate to have you in our world with everything you do.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for always visiting with me when I have something. I really love it.
Well, for the listeners, it's a gift in my hand. It's Delia's book. It's Do I Have to Say Hello? You will love it. It's fun. Yes. And call me if you want this copy. The rest of us have to go buy it. And before we run out of time, Delia, what's your advice? What do you go to Amazon? What do you do?
Oh, you can go to your Barnes & Noble, Amazon, your local independent store, or you can go to my website, DeliaEphron.com. There's a link.
DeliaEphron.com. Easy enough. Delia, it's always a delight. Like I say, one day we'll have a live TV thing or something. You can come in. We'll have to do it out of New York. Nobody will watch it.
Okay, I can't wait.
If we're not in New York.
That's right.
Thank you, Delia.
All right. Okay.
We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some fog around the area this morning, otherwise partly sunny and very warm again, with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, but probably dry at the coast. The high 87 to 91. Mainly clear tonight. Well, there may be some cloud and a shower in spots at the coast. Low 69, inland 75 along the coast. For tomorrow, partly sunny with a passing shower or thunderstorm. The high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.